Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing 12,800 subscribers. If you haven't smashed that subscribe button, go ahead and smash it right now. If you haven't signed up for the Patreon, hit that link in the description below. 60 members and climbing. This episode right here, we have a special guest returning back to the show for an interview. This little youngster was locked up when I was locked up at Sentinella. Except he was on the blue side, I was on the green. We're going to dive into the administrative segregation, the whole. Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, bro?
Good, you?
Good. Can't complain, man. You know, hanging in there.
That's what's up, dude. So, you had mentioned you made a trip to ADSEG, A5C6 Sentinella State Prison. Tell me what your knowledge of the whole was at that time.
Well, like I said, at that time I was only on the yard for bro, maybe a month and a half at the most. So I was still fresh to the prison thing. But going to the hole was an eye opener. It was either you're gonna make it mentally wise, be strong, or you're gonna let that place break you. In the sense that you no longer have those. You did real time back there. Excuse me. You did real time back there. You didn't have the TV. You didn't have, that access to go to yard every day to communicate with people, the homies, play ball, those distractions, you were really doing time right there. Being that it was just you and your cell and you in the cell, all day, 24/7.
How does that differ from being in county jail? Because I know county jail is a little more stricter movement. How does that differ from either being in county, being on an actual prison yard, and now you're in the back, isolated?
You're being the fact that everywhere you go, to begin with, you're handcuffed. You got to back up to the sally port every time to get cuffed up. When you were in A5, because you know how A5, like I said, it was still a group yard, so you got to go out there and mingle. So it wasn't really that bad. But once you got to C6, because C6 is built into little corridors, each one. So you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. And right there you really feel it because if nobody walks a tier, you won't see nobody, and all you have is a wall in front of your door.
Right.
And
so let me elaborate real quick for the viewers. Paint the picture. He's talking about A5 Sentinella at the time was ADSEG ASU. That was a regular 270 designed housing unit, except like he said, it was max security. You get handcuffed everywhere you go to the group yard. Then he's talking about C6. C6 was its own separate entity behind Charlie Yard. That had pods, right? It was a standalone ASU. So how did people get from A5 to C6, man?
Well, when I was there, people, like I said, we would do the bed moves, the consolidated bed moves, and people would get called back there and moved over there. Some would move, some would be pulled faster than others for obvious reasons because they were expecting them or they had to go check in,
Yeah.
And other people were just voluntarily moved. I didn't know much about prison, but I knew that I wanted to get to C6 when I went back there. Being that that's where everybody's at, so that's where I want to be at. Just, monkey see, monkey do. I want to be with the rest of the people right there, I don't want to be in A5 where it's a little bit harder to communicate with those people over there, But being in T6 was an eye-opener as a 19-year-old. It was really, really, really eye-opener, Like I said, we didn't have TVs. It wasn't like these other ADSEGs that they give you the TV now, your little radio. No, it was just straight, Thankfully for me, I had reading material. I always enjoyed to read, so it wasn't a problem. I got magazines and all that.
Right. So let me elaborate to the viewers. When I talk about, I can't claim to be an OG from the 1990s. You know what I'm saying, right, man?
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you this: when you were in the hole. And when I was working in the hole, there was no TVs, there were no television, there was no outlets, there definitely was not no phone calls. You got a haircut every once in a while if you were lucky.
Maybe once. It was supposed to be once a week, but nobody ever really wanted to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you couldn't even shower with your cellular in the ADSEGs and the ASU because each one had to go to his own shower. It was how do I say it? It was more he had to be mentally strong. I that's the way I look at it. He had to be mentally strong to be there, because that quietness, that solitude, that isolation could get to some people, you know. And it was a whole different beast, you know. It was you had to be creative first of all to be able to fish with people, you know, to get your paperwork over there, make sure you were good and all that, you know. And once you were all, you know, you were on Gaio and you had to answer your roll call every morning and every night. It was a different beast, bro, because I never thought that it was like, you know, in prisons you see all the whole, it's just a cell with 2 beds, whatever.
Right.
It was just way different, bro. You know, the beds are set up like pretty much like to give people an idea, like Pelican Bay beds, you know, with the cement bunks towards the back. Your desk is cement. You don't have no actual physical light. Your light's coming in from a little gap through the roof. You know, you're inside all day. You're pale. You're in that AC all day. You know, if your neighbor drops a cup 5 cells down, you can hear it. Nobody's loud there. Everybody whispers because you can hear everything. It echoes so much.
So, what was the worst part? The quietness, the you ain't got shit to look at because you're looking at a concrete wall, the lack of movement. What drove you the nuts the most, or you found difficult?
Lack of communication, being able to communicate with my family, you know?
Yeah.
Being able to call home, being able, you know, because once you get there, it takes you a minute to get your property. And even then, if you don't have writing material, it takes a cool minute for you to get your store. And if you got no money, then you ain't really write unless people look out. You know, you get your indigent envelopes, but those only 5 envelopes, you know?
Yeah.
That was the hardest part for me, was just transitioning to that. Because like I said, I never really watched TV that much. So it wasn't that much that killed me because, you know, but it was that part, being able to communicate with my family, that made it a little bit more difficult.
Now, you personally, were they expecting you back there?
No, it was one of those things that we went on a whim. You know, we went on a whim, but we were received, you know, with open arms, you know what I mean?
And is there individuals that, so to say, are not received with open arms?
No, but you know, sometimes people are being called back there, meaning they're not asked to go back there, they're taken back there, meaning that they're assaulted and taken off the yard and made to go to the hole for maybe an infraction that they did there or somewhere else, you know?
Yeah.
And those people who aren't received too well, they're kind of on that maybe yeah, maybe no, on that borderline where they're, you know, you might get cut off or you might not, or they don't know what to expect.
Right.
You know, and if they get a celly, they don't know if their celly's going to assault them again or not.
Right.
So they go back there. When you're called like that, you're going back to try to clear something up.
Right.
You know, because you did something, or and other times it's because people messed up and they give them that opportunity to clean it up with having to do something in the yard, you know?
Right. You're speaking facts, man. And just my 2 cents, you know, I dropped a video yesterday, a 2-on-1 with a weapon, you know. They worked that dude, man. They worked. They did try to take his wind. And I've seen in instances where they will tell us, right, they will tell Green, nah, I'm good, CO. I'm good, Sarge. I'm good to go back to the yard. And we are like, no, man, you're not good.
Well, see, even all that goes back to when you said it, like a 2-on-1. Okay, well, when I started, it was if someone had to, you know, if a weapon had to be used, and that person had to get so many, you know what I mean?
Right.
And if they said it was 10 that he had to get, and you only gave him 9, you failed. You're in the same boat as that other guy that got those 9.
Right.
And you couldn't stop unless you were hit with the baton or you were, you know what I mean, sprayed. That's the only time you were able to stop. You know what I mean? You weren't able to stop any other way. And I don't know how it is now. Now it's the same thing, but
I definitely can relate, man, and that used to trip me out. Like, man, these guys do not stop. They don't stop. It's like they don't care. But I hear what you're saying, and I know where it's coming from.
It's you have, you know, like once again, it goes back to, you know, in the military, you get your orders that you have to, you know, succeed and accomplish this mission.
Right.
By any means necessary. It was the same thing with us, you know. it was a 2-on-1, you do what you do, but you never stomp the person out because
Right.
stomping him out means
Yeah.
he's really, really no good. He's ain't no coming back from, but.
So you get to C6 around that time frame. How were the COs there, man?
Thankfully the ones that I had right there that were in my pod were all right. They were, respectful. They were respectful. They would look out. They would, as much as they could, as far as they could, without crossing those boundaries.
Right.
They would cool. They would back then they would allow us to fish. They would tell us, all right, after dinner, you guys can do what you guys need to do. You guys got your 30-minute break, 30 little minute, meaning that we would fish from one side to the other side. Now they cut it all off. But before that's how it was. That's that's common knowledge. Someone gave it up before. So, but we used to fish from I was in G pod and we would fish with A pod.
Hey, that is crazy, dude. That to me was as crazy as watching individuals fish from the upper tier, like 250, all the way down to 134. Just craziness.
But exactly. See, even for that, bro, I was kind of not in a way. I was thankful that I went to the whole as a youngster and right off the bat. That's where I really acquired my game from.
Yeah.
So nobody's taught to make you don't know how to make a line.
Right.
You're not taught to make a line. You didn't teach you how to make a line. So I got a little paper telling me, drawing instructions telling me how to break all my boxers apart.
Right.
How to twist it up. How to make a line.
So,
you know what I mean?
For the viewers out there, we talk about fishing, right? Fishing. It's how to get stuff from one area to another area through a line, right? Like fishing line. The craziness we're talking about, imagine being in your house, even a 2-story house. Let's say you're in a far bedroom. You somehow manage to fish that line to the bottom floor into another room. That's how intricate it was.
No, hey, it was you had creativeness, you know what I mean? If there was something stopping it, we figured out a way how to get around it. Meaning to roll the newspaper, pushing your line, hooking it to another line to swing it around. There's just all types of ways, bro. You get a piece of soap with a little bit of a jelly pack. You hit it with your sandal out your door. That thing will fly, bro.
Right.
But the next way it will fly, you put a staple on the end of it to hook, to grab the other person's line and bring it in, snag it.
Yeah, man. That's the creativeness when you got all that time, man.
And then, that like I said, that being in the hole, bro, that's where I learned how to sign language.
You learned it in the hole?
In the hole. I was taught how to sign language in the hole.
How long did it take you to pick it up?
Bro, like a week?
Damn.
At the week, because we go out in the C6, you go out at 3 times a week. So when I would go out, they would teach me and they would show me, and then they'll give me a book with the, with the hand signals and everything. Being that there's cameras out there, and there's certain things that we can't say,
right?
Because the cameras are recording everything, and sign language, and when you go to committee, they have other images, that's the only time you really see other people outside of your pod, is when you go to committee, and you want to sign language to them something real quick, and 9 out of 10 they will be able to read it and understand it, what you're telling them, and relay whatever message you had to relate to whoever it was. Or
so I used to watch you guys sign language, man, and I picked up when you do the next word. So I'm doing it on the camera so they can see, but when they do the next word, it's like that, right? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, when the hand comes down.
Yeah. So yeah, I never picked it up, man. I kind of wanted to for just. It'd be cool to learn in general.
No, it's like I said, it's cool, bro. It taught me a lot. It taught me discipline. That place taught me, to educate myself, my mind, expand it. Don't let those 4 walls keep me in. It taught me to think. Use my brain. Like they said, that the pen is mightier than the sword.
Right.
So it taught me to think and be creative.
So you touched down as a little soldado. Are you doing the rutina?
Oh hell yeah, bro! That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those burpees, 1 through 6. You guys got the hard count. I got the 1 through 5. And which every step is a count. You put your hands down to do a burpee. That's 1. You kick your legs out. That's 2. You know, you go down, that's 3. You come up, that's 4 on your push up, and when you jump up, that's 5. And then, you know, we would have to be like 1, and so forth and so forth. We keep going like that, you know. But even then, I didn't know that, bro. I just thought, you know, we're gonna do 113 burpees and that was it. But like, nah, it's a way of doing it.
Right.
And if you messed up, we're gonna do it all over again. Doesn't matter if we were at 80. We're gonna do it all over again. We're starting all over again. And you only get so many of those. You know, that's when you only had 2 weeks to keep up with the workout.
Right.
You know, it didn't matter if you were overweight or, you know, you had 2 weeks, bro. And everybody had to keep up with it, whether they were young or older. You know, but if you're going to the hole, it's because you're getting that training because you're a soldier. That's the mindset. You're a warrior. You're a guerrero. You're an Aztec warrior. You know, that's what I was taught.
Correct.
You know, we're Mexicas. That's where we come from. You know.
Correct.
And that's what we were taught. That's the way I looked at it. I was trained to be a warrior. You know, to get my wind up, to be able to fight if I had to.
Right. All the way.
All the way, bro. You know.
We used to hear you. We used to hear you guys sound off from like a yard, all the yards, pretty much, man. You could just hear that shit echoing from the back.
Oh yeah, that was to represent, to let people know that we're here and we're holding it down. You know. That's what that was, bro, to represent, to let people know we're holding it down. Here we are, you know. You guys ain't gonna break us. And that's how I felt, you know, because after the first time, the second, third, fourth, it was like whatever, bro. To me, it was like,
Would the Whites get on board with that same program, or are they doing their own thing?
No, they would get on program with us. They always have to do it. Not always, but they would always fall behind us and do it, you know.
Right.
So, and obviously at the end, we would give them, you know, they would do a little 23 for the little, to pay the respects to whoever they had to pay them, and we would do, you know. And then even after the workout, we would finish, and, you know, we would tell them thank you, tell each other thank you. And if they happen to be brothers with us, you know, we will give them their time to do their little workout.
Right.
You know, and it was respect, bro. Even though maybe at times we were adversaries, in the whole was always respect, meaning we would always look out for each other. You know, if I want to start inside my neighbor some soups, a little bit of coffee, you know, reading materials, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, that's all we had, and there was just each other. But don't people think that I'm in the hole? It's a safe place to be.
No, it's not a safe place.
That's far from the truth, bro. Because when you're in the hole, you're really around those people that are with the business. You know.
Yeah.
Those people that they're killers, bro. You know.
Right.
That's the last place you want to be, because if something's happening in the cell, let's say something's happening in B pot, and you guys are running yard on H or F side or whatever, which is on the other side, you're not gonna hear nothing because the gunner's on that way.
Right.
So they got all the time in the world, bro. You know, and that's one of the things that was really an eye-opener for me when I heard the first time someone had something coming in there, and you can hear this person yelling for their life, and it's a mindful, because you're listening to someone literally at that point where he may or may not lose his life.
Right.
And all you're doing is flushing your toilet so the guards won't hear it.
Damn, dude.
You know? And I forgot I want to say the psych name was Fernando. I don't know if you got to meet the guy. Light-skinned guy. He was like one of the psychs that used to walk in the ASU in A5. He used to give us little crossword puzzles, but, you know, we used to always mess with them. And one day this guy came up shooken from the yard, I guess on C yard. When he was walking through C yard to get to that side, he saw these 2 guys. For whatever reason, he kept an eye on these 2 guys. They came out of education. They went to go hit some put-ups. They started doing dips. And he said one of the guys just out of nowhere comes and starts hitting his buddy. And he hits him 2 times in the sides, and he collapses his lung. And he's like, and the guy's on the floor saying, I can't breathe. And he's like, why, Pedro, why? And the guy's telling us this, but when he's saying us this, he's pale, bro. You can tell he's shooken up. He's pale. We're like, you know, me and my celly just look at each other like, that's just business. And he's like, no, that's where you guys are wrong. You guys are mind fucked, because this isn't how normal people live.
Right.
That's not normal. You know, that's like, you guys being in here locked up all day is not normal. That is not, like, you don't do that. That's not normal. You know, you don't try to kill your friend because he did something on the streets that was wrong. If you bumped into somebody, you actually did any disrespect to somebody, or he didn't pay a bill in time, you don't try to kill him. But we're just looking at him like, hey, bro, that's just business. And he's like, you guys are sick. You guys are like animals. That dude ran off the tier, bro. That's how shaken up he was.
In reality, what that is, man, and I've gone through my own stuff in the military, that is a survival mechanism.
Oh, yeah, como dicen que lloren a mi casa o que lloren en tu casa.
Yeah.
That's the thing it goes, it's either you or me, bro.
Exactly. And I will say this, man, prolonged exposure to that will take its effects, man. For sure. We know that.
Oh, yeah, I know I got PTSD from that, bro.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I still wake up at times when my girl tries to wake me up, like, hey, you're late for work or whatever. And at times I tell her not to because I wake up swinging, like.
Yeah.
Because she be trying to poke me thinking it's cute.
Right.
And it's like, don't do that. That's, I wake up and my mind is still.
I hear you, man.
Somewhere else.
For sure. Hey, so you're in the back. You're in C6, right? Is there a destination past C6? Like, hey, homie, this is where the next stop is.
If you catch your shoe, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you catch your shoe and you get endorsed to Corcoran or to Tehachapi or the Bay, then you know what I mean? And at times your goal for some people was to make it to those places because they had to still go talk to someone else. They had to go see someone else. So they had to do whatever it was that they needed to do to get over there. The whole is, how can I say, the whole is aware of everything that's going on in every yard.
Right. Headquarters.
That's pretty much it, bro. The world's small, the prison system's even smaller. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's way smaller, bro, in the sense that, like you said, like the other time when you were like, oh, did you guys hear about it? Now we knew about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's sad to say now, but at times we found, like, okay, we know this is going to happen by this date. And like you said, we'll be in the cages and the dog kennels in the yard. And we're just like, okay, you guys brought us out of one. That should go down pretty. You hear the alarm go off, like, yep.
Right.
Here comes homeboy.
So, you remember that old school game telephone where you tell somebody something, they tell the next person something, they tell the next person, and by the time it gets somewhere, like, it's not the same message or it's different? Is that the same? Was miscommunication an issue at all or at times?
Far few in between, bro. It did happen, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But no, most of the time it was on point. You know what I mean?
Damn, yeah.
It was on point, bro. You know what I mean? It was like, how can I say, Little John, or for example, Little John,
Yeah.
Little John from prison guard or whatever. Little John has little exclusive tattoos that only Little John has.
Damn.
And, they know Little John's last name, his CDC. If he has a brother, his brother might be Slimy.
Yeah.
So, like I said, bro, that's it. They do the research good and they know who to go. Maybe once in a while, maybe someone that wasn't supposed to, got it, being that they had the same name as another person, the same moniker as someone else. But it was far from between, bro. Most of the time, it was the right person.
Yeah.
Because nobody, like I said, you don't want to be that one guy to deliver the wrong message.
Oof. If somebody delivers a wrong message, are there consequences for that?
Oh, dire consequences. That's, you're making everybody look bad.
Damn.
You're putting everybody else in jeopardy because you couldn't remember a simple message. That's why I used to hate going to the law library or going when I used to go to court because people were trying to verbalize. I'd be like, damn, I got to remember this and I got to remember it the way they said it to me.
Right.
There's a point in the way people say things. Maybe I can't pick up on it, or maybe I don't know the coded language that they're using.
Right.
But whoever I'm relating it to does. And even the way people relate it to, it's always coded. To you got the gist of it, but you don't know the whole message, really. If you understand what I'm saying.
Definitely. I'm tracking, man. And I think our viewers are too.
So it's kind of like when, back in the day when, they were using Navajos to relay messages and during the Vietnam War and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, you know, bro. We know how to. I was taught how to decipher certain things in a certain manner.
Right.
So you know.
So, yeah, just a brief. Right? I'm not gonna dive too much into this, but it can be like coded, like, hey, number one equals the letter A of the alphabet, something simple like that, right? And that's as far as I'm gonna go on that.
Well, we can go 1, 2, 3. Whatever letter, whatever word I start off, it's the first letter.
Right.
The second word I say is the second letter. The third word I put on the paper, it's the third letter on it. And then people know we might go 3, 2, 1 again, or 1, 2, 3 again, then 3, 2, 1. The pattern of it.
Right. So people want to know green also, right? So like, hey, if you were a CO and you were on point and you knew what time it was, and there's a few, right? There's a hand. Then you can see this and you can be like, okay, I understand what this is saying. If not, it will take its course, right? It will take its course. It'll go to the goon squad, and it may even just go outside to bigger agencies, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
it does, bro. It happens.
Right.
All you guys would do is just, if you guys don't understand it, but there's something in it,
right.
You guys will photocopy it, send a letter to where it has to go,
right,
and you see what happens, and then boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. This is interesting, dude. For sure. It's the inner workings. It's interesting.
It's like I said. There's always, like, as long as there's a will, there's a way.
Hey, it's a cat and mouse game, man. Where it used to be a cat and mouse game. I don't know how things are now.
We used to be a cat and mouse. That's why all these little youngsters don't really know what time it is, bro. That's why those yards got so big, bro.
Right.
Because people think, like I said, bro, people think it's being easy to be in that life, and not in that life, but to be in there. They think it's easy. They think it's, oh yeah, we're gonna go, and it's like, nah, bro. Like I said, your bed space, you have to earn it, bro. You gotta, be willing to put in work, no matter what. Whether it's by carrying a kite, by bringing dope in, by passing dope on, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, these new dudes are probably like, oh, I'm gonna go kick back in the back, watch my TV with my little wind up radio. The little pescado CEO is gonna pass this for me down the tier.
And it's not like that, bro. And if you happen to land in a cell that's critical to get it from A to point C,
right,
and you're in point B, and you don't know how to fish, bro, man, bro, I felt sorry for you.
Hey, real quick, man, we never. You seen the movie American Me, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when the guy cops his wire? They make a big old deal about it in that movie. It was very dramatic and stuff like that. Is that realistic or unrealistic? I just want to hear your take on it.
Well, that's why we have to talk a coded and gonna code it way even on the tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people don't know, but at times, you might have a PC in there or whatever, or because even though Centinela was so far down south, we would still get Northerners down there, bro.
Yeah, right.
That were getting, waiting for INS to get deported, and they'll put them in the hole. So at times they might, but as far as them, you can, when someone's doing that. But in there, it's so hard to get a hold of somebody. So even if they did, we really couldn't do nothing to them because,
right,
they're either PC'd up or they're getting ready to get released, and you can't really touch them.
Right.
You know how it is. You're under escort everywhere you go. You got two on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They wait till one walks to clears the hallway to go to the yard, and come back. You probably take someone else out, even in showers. It's not like we had the honeycomb doors. That's why in A5 they had the plexiglass over them. Because you would be able to spear somebody there, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's why on the side of the doors in C6, they don't have that little crack that the normal doors do. That little gap, for the same reason that you can slide somebody through there. Call someone real quick, hey, come over here, let me tell you. And bam,
Yeah. So since C6 was a very secured area and inmates needed to be moved around that place in restraints at all times, what would happen if a cell door accidentally opened up?
Oh, it happened lots of times. I used to be, Depending on who it was, bro.
Right.
Really, depending on who it was, you would get off.
Right.
That's how it is. You would get off, and it's just business. Because it's like once again, it's finances respected. You would get off. Not a majority of the time, but most of the time you would. You would be expected to. You know what I mean?
You want me to
be expected to.
If there's two inmates in one cell, and before that door opens, does one inmate get cuffed, or does both inmates get cuffed?
They both get cuffed. But see, like me, for example, I have small wrists, bro. So I used to be able to pop slide off my cuffs.
Yeah.
They put that on my door. This one could take off his cuffs.
Right.
So I would be able to take them off. So that's why I used to hold guards. Like, nah, you took whatever you took from myself when you came in. I'm not giving you your cuff back. Like, look, I have it. I popped my hand out of it.
Man, I might have come across your cell because I do remember that thing. It says slip cuffs on the paper.
There was only like two of us that was able to do it. Me and some brother were the only ones that were able to do it.
Yeah, it says slips cuffs, able to slip cuffs. Hey, so when I brought up that question, man, I said, do both inmates got to get cuffed up, trip out? This may or may not happen at Donovan. When I showed up as a sergeant, right, at SIG, dude, these officers, right, may or may not have only been cuffing up one inmate in ADSEG and telling the other cellmate, hey, man, just go have a seat at the back of the cell. And
as far as I know, bro, everywhere I've gone to, and I've gone to the shoot, it's always been cuff up both of you,
Correct. That presents a very dangerous situation, man. It used to give my anxiety up.
No, because it does, bro. Like, my whole thing was this, bro. Even though I didn't mess up, but you always have that in the back of your mind.
Right.
In the back of your mind, like, what if, what? So I used to always cuff up first and uncuff first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at times that's how someone becomes a victim.
You ever heard of that, of a situation where somebody is cuffed up and the cellie just takes flight on them?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it's people that they know that they messed up, bro.
Right.
And we're trying to get them. So we're like, hey, we try to run by them, one by them. And like, hey, you're all good, bro. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's all good. One under the bridge and you move someone in there. And the person you're moving in there, you can't really tell them, like, hey, bro, this fool's got a... So you're expecting that you have enough time at least to call him to the van or shoot him a kite. But the cellie already knows what time it is, The guy that he's moving in, he's like, shit, I know what time it is. I'm not falling for that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he would just, because back then, I don't know if they still do, they would give us the little brown cups that you give them on the main line.
Right.
And, those things can do danger, bro. They could do damage.
I've seen it. I seen it in Charlie Gym. Dude got his wig split, man, in Crack Alley.
So what do you do, bro? You're cuffed up. You're not even knowing what's cracking. You're thinking like it's all good, You let that guy uncuff first. This fool cuffs, and in front of the CO just starts whooping your ass with that cup, bro. You got your hands behind you. You know the rules. They're not gonna open the door unless both of you guys are cuffed up.
Correct.
But one's on the floor. Throw them out. It's one of those situations, bro, where, like I said, people think the hole is safe. That's one of the most dangerous places you can be.
I agree. I agree, man.
Because, those top bunks are high, bro. And if you fucked up and like, you're bigger than me or whatever, it didn't cost me nothing to just pull your ass off that bunk head first.
What was their structure schedule? A schedule like, hey, 4 a.m. we're all doing this. 5. Was there a schedule to that?
Not necessarily, unless you were really like unless you were really around those people, you know what I'm referring to. Then with them, we didn't have nobody at that status.
Yeah.
But there was some that were, they would be like, okay, from 11 to 12, it's quiet time, no fishing.
Right.
From 2 to 3 or whatever, it's study time. We study. Some people just tell you stuff like, for you to read on your history. Your cultura, know where you come from. No, because everybody's like, oh, yeah, Pancho Villa, or I want to get this on me or whatever. But people don't know what those things mean, the G-shields, the sun god and all that stuff, Don't know what Pancho Villa, the history of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't know who Benito Juarez was. Well, the struggle of what it took for people to come over here.
Right.
And, like, for me, I took pride in all that. I wanted to know what my heritage was. Who they were, who these people were that they looked up to, At the same time, I want to know what these tattoos meant, as in to not get in trouble.
Right.
Because you just can't slap those on you. And that's back then, bro. Back then, you couldn't have, like, a G show just because you wanted to have it.
Right.
You couldn't get certain numbers on you just to look cool, especially the Aztec ones. You couldn't get that, bro. That had to be earned. And if the teacher didn't give you that star,
right,
then you're in some deep shit, bro. And that's when
then you didn't earn it.
You didn't earn it. You know what I mean?
Right. Same can go for a pair of lightning bolts tattoos. You know what I mean? For other races.
That type of stuff, the spider webs that they would get,
Yeah.
That's when all that still like really meant something, bro. That's when it was like, oh shit, like, all right.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said, you had to earn it, You really had to earn it, bro. And it wasn't just like, oh, I did this, I'm gonna put this on myself.
Yeah.
Like, no, someone had to give you the authority to be able to say, you can slap this on you if you like.
Do you feel that all that education that you did about your culture, do you feel that it benefited you in life as an individual?
Yes, I feel like it did, bro. You know what? Being back there, bro, like I said, it taught me discipline, meaning that I knew I had to be up early as hell. I got to be up to go to work.
Right.
That regular exercise that we would do, the military exercise we would do.
Right.
It taught me to strong body, strong mind. That reading my history, I'm able to tell my nephews, my son, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because everybody knows who Pancho Villa and Emilio Zapata is, you know what I mean? But they can't tell you anything about the struggle or what they went for.
That's facts, dude. That's facts.
People don't know that Pancho Villa used to sack a town. Yeah, he was sacking them, but he would always build a school in there. And every town he took over, he had schools. His currency was accepted by the United States. People don't know that.
Right.
He's the only person to ever attack the United States and get away with it.
Yeah.
People don't know that Emilio Zapata was referred to as the tail of the hunt of the South.
Damn.
By his viciousness. People don't know that, and it's like, come on, bro, you got that on you. You don't know what you got on you.
Right. I was reflecting since our last conversation, man. I was thinking we're both the same age. We're both 38, man. We of course we went down different paths, different roads, but I believe mindset was identical, being that we were raised by the dudes that did time in the 90s, whether it was or even beforehand. You know what I mean? Like the OGs, we were raised correctly.
No, yeah, I was. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I was. Even though a lot of times people will be like, that's why you get in trouble. But it's like, nah, bro, these people are teaching me the way. When you're in there, bro, there's a certain way of living. I'm not in the street. That's why I told you. I institutionalized myself because it was like, bro, I'm not on the streets no more. I'm in here. This is my home.
Right.
I'm going to conduct myself by whatever goes on in here. Whatever happens outside these walls is no longer my concern.
Right.
Now none of it's my concern.
Damn, dude.
They taught me how it was, bro. If I hung out with somebody, even on the yard, bro, if I hung out with somebody and they took a liking to me, whatever, and if I wanted to go in there, let's say 2:30 and like you didn't pop me out from my shower door and you do, I'm over there talking shit to you. They were like, nah, get over here. What are you doing, fool?
Right.
You're causing attention. That's what we don't want.
Right.
You're a reflection of me, and it's the same thing when you go to the home, bro. I was a reflection of them because they'll be like, who, well, such and such. Okay,
Yeah.
That kind of gave me like you're cool. You're good. Even though I was already straight, but they'll be like, okay, you're good. And then privy to certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's always by the way you carried yourself. You couldn't be that one dude always wanting to argue, always being loud, always joking around. Like, nah, bro, it's always business. There's a time and place for everything. But when especially back in the hole, bro. To even talk on the tier, you would have to excuse yourself.
Tenzón en la tira, sí.
Yeah, when you were done, you would have to, hey, thank you the tier. Tier's clear now to talk.
Yep.
You couldn't. Even if someone was talking and you flush your toilet, you would still say, excuse me, sorry about that interruption, and flush your toilet.
Right.
And then you get people that don't know, they're over there flushing. It's like, hey, bro, you're being rude, but you're not knowing it because you're not picking up on game, bro. you're not picking up on it. Like, there's certain things that people can tell you. There's other things that you just got to figure out for yourself, man.
Yeah.
You know? I'm going to give you the best. I'm going to use myself as an example. So one time, I can't remember the sergeant's name, but he was a dick. He would always go hit cells, especially if you got written up. Pollard rolled me up like 3 times for wine, supposedly, when I just had apples, right?
Yeah.
So this guy, this other sergeant, well, if he knew you got caught with wine, he would come here, come search yourself. So at that time, I had those like three 115s pending because of Pollard. So one day he okey-dokes me in my cell. He tells me, hey, cup up, 115 earring. In my cell, he's like, fucking, like, okay. And I had something.
Yeah.
Something that was very important. I had things that were very important. And they were right in my door. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? It's C6. You know you don't got nothing in there. It's a cement, 2 bunks, cement bunks against the wall. And you got 2 on the bottom bunk, 2 little small lockers that were carved out of it, let's say. And I'll have my letters. And it's inside my envelope with my name and CDC like a dumbass. I'm like, fuck. So I tell myself, you go, then I'll go. So when he cuffs up and he steps out, and when I'm stepping back to get uncuffed, doors closing, they open it on me and they just yank my ass out. They searched everything, bro. They went through the mattresses, everything, but for whatever reason, they didn't touch my envelope. The whole time, I'm right there in the little, between the little cell between the showers, the little holding tank that they have right there. I'm just like, fuck, I done fucked up. My career is over. I'm just waiting for them to walk out past me holding that shit. And the guy next to me is asking me, hey, everything's good, right? Everything's put away good, right? And I'm like, yeah, and he's referring to my man purse,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, everything's good, bro. Don't even worry, everything's straight. But little does he know that it's out in the open.
Damn.
I was a youngster, and I was maybe giving a little bit too much credit, I would say, or thinking that I was really up on game when I wasn't. To that par, at that par, and I was like, fuck, I'm fucked, like, I'm done, like, me and my sister just looking at each other like, we're fucked. Bam, we go back, and that's the first thing we do as soon as we get uncuffed, and they're, because they're asking for it, like, hey, shoot that back, send that back, and we're like, fuck, and it's right there, bro. They didn't touch it, they didn't do nothing to it. That's 1 in a million times that's gonna happen, bro.
How did you feel when you saw he was there untouched?
Oh, I'm dark skinned, bro. You know what I mean by my nickname, but I was fucking pale, bro. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm good. I made another day. Like, I'm good. Like, I'm good, bro. Like, oh shit.
When the neighbor told you to shoot that over there, was it to verify that it was in fact there, or hey man, just shoot it over here, get it out of your way?
No, to verify that it was still there.
Fuck.
To verify it was there, bro. It wasn't. No, that's what I'm telling you. That's why I was like, fuck. To verify it was there, bro. And that was my mistake, bro. Like, I was like, oh fuck, man. Like, because they're, it's right there, bro. They get like, hey, everything's good. Like, hey, everything's good, bro. They're not asking me directly, like, hey, but you get the question, you understand it,
right?
And I'm like, yeah, we're good. Like, don't even trip, bro. Yeah, we chilling now. We're back in there right now. They're just messing with us.
Damn, dude.
And the whole time I'm just like, well, fuck. That's it. We fucked up.
Yeah.
And at that time, to get caught with those things, that was a big no-no. Because it was, like I said, it was lots of things, bro, that pertain to.
I hear you.
Our business and and they would have been like a fucking giving you guys a whole, Christmas gift right there. Like, man, let's
a little present.
Yeah, like, fuck. And ever since then, bro, whatever they told me, how they told me to put it up, it was like, all right.
Yeah.
I got it. You know what I mean?
Same on.
I got it straight, bro. I fucking got it.
You passed with a C+, my boy.
I barely got it, bro. I was like, shit, man, But I would feel bad for those bros that would come back and they would get put on potty watch.
Oof, yeah.
Because, and it's gonna, and then I'm not, it's shit that people know already, but like I said, but that being on potty watch and then, you have someone in front of your door, you're taped up, bro. I know people that taking it out, ate it, they taking it out, call them the shit, ate it again. So they did that 3 times. just to not lose whatever it is they had.
So let me elaborate on that, man. That's kind of cool that you brought that up. So potty watch, right? For the viewers, contraband surveillance watch. We see an inmate swallow some balloons in visiting, right? Oh, he has drugs, right? So we tape him up, right? We put him in two jumpsuits, one facing forward, one facing backwards. We tape up his wrists, his ankles. We put him in a cell, isolation. We have direct observation to ensure that when he shits it out, right? When it goes through his body, we will get it in a bag and we will go through it and recover it. That's contraband watch. So what he is saying, and this is facts, 100% facts. Ooh, man, this is a good one. This is a good gem, right? Like an M&M, right? So it would come out and they would eat it and do it like 3 times, man, to avoid getting in trouble.
You know, because that's how it was. 3 shits, you know, and keep in mind, you're so you got the waist chains around you.
Yeah.
You got the chains on your legs. And they're standing right in front of you, bro. So for you to do it, you either have to be really, really slick or just be like, fuck it. It's, you know, either way, I'm fucked.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes those people it was so important that they don't lose it, that they would do that, bro. And you can't really clean it off. So you're pretty much eating your own feces again just to survive.
Correct.
You know, to survive. And that's what I tell you. These little kids think it's all fun and games. Like, nah, bro. You know, because I seen it even before I was getting out. You know, my last year, where kids would get caught with a kite and they would just give it up to the sergeant, to whoever. It's like, hell no, bro. You got to eat that chew, destroy it, do what you got to do.
Right.
You know, make them work for it. They're not going to get it just like that. It's not a handout, man. Make them work for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I found, when I was working Charlie visiting one time, I found a SIM card underneath the inmate's tongue, right? I said, what is that? Spit it out. He gave it to me, and I broke it in half, and I threw it in the trash can, man. I wasn't really trying to do much with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, but, you know, something like that, bro, would have been like, hell nah, screw you. From high school, you would have been like, hell nah, screw you. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Yeah.
Swallow that. You can dig it out.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Another thing, these kids... You know, when they go to the hole, they think that, okay, we're gonna get stored.
Right.
They don't realize that store that they give you is, you know, first of all, it's not the same amount that you get on the yard. Your canteen list is probably like 12 items.
Hey, I'm gonna put you up on game how AdSeg and how Contraband Watch is now in these times, man. First of all, they're not in restraints. You have to request to put an inmate on contraband contraband surveillance watch requiring restraints. So imagine that.
Wow.
Yeah. So then another thing is, you were talking about you don't get no canteen. Man, at RJD, these inmates, they just be holding cuffs or boarding up until the associate warden that used to be a plumber will show up. He'll break it down for them and give them whatever they want, man. Happens all the time.
Oh, bro, that's crazy. These kids, you know, and that was the thing that tripped me out, because I was thinking, I got my store, you know what I mean? I see the list. I'm like thinking, like, damn, I can only get 30 suits, 3 stickers, and that's the thing too, bro. That's the thing that people don't realize, that that's all a tactic by CDC to break that unity that we had.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because think about it. I was only allowed to buy 3 soaps. You know, 1 for me. If my city didn't go to the store, well, 1 soap for him.
Right.
And then I have an extra 1 bar soap. If there's someone on the tier that needs it, I would give it up, but how many people really would be, you know, some would be very reluctant to give it up, you know.
Did you guys have a kitty back there?
Yeah.
Can you tell the viewers what a kitty is?
A kitty is when, you know, everybody goes, well, those that are able to go to the store will buy something for the kitty, meaning whatever you can afford, deodorant, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, shower shoes, shower sandals. And when someone new comes in, you will give them a little piece, and it's literally, get your deodorant from your house, take it out the little thing that it comes in, break that into 4 pieces. That's what you will get as a welcoming, and then you will get a jelly pack, those little jelly packets that we will get for lunch, filled with toothpaste, not even filled to the top, just halfway filled up.
Yeah, that
was your toothpaste, and that's your deodorant. You know, people don't understand that. That's what I tell you. These kids didn't realize that all that shit comes open, bro. You know, so your soups are stale, your chips are stale, and if you don't have that experience, you don't know how to preserve it to make it last long, to keep the taste to it.
Yeah.
You know, so what would we do? Like I said, the jelly packs, you put your shampoo in there. the toothpaste. You put your shampoo, you put your toothpaste in there.
Yeah.
Tie one end off with the string, open up the other end. You know what I mean? For your deodorant, when you get a whole bar, you will get your milk carton and fold it up and make it into a little deodorant stick.
Right.
You know?
Man, you're making all the OGs have flashbacks, man. Like,
and it comes again, bro. It comes to that schooling that I got that they taught me all this. Like, man, this how you do this, and this how you do that, bro. You know?
Damn. Yeah.
Because there's no hot, you ain't got no boiling water out there, bro.
Right.
You know, so your soup, you gotta let that cook for like 30 minutes before, and it's gonna be cold ass soup. Even now, bro, that's something that my girl hates and my family hates. Period. Is that they're like, eat while your food is hot. And I'm like, no, I like my food cold.
Yeah.
Like they're like, wow, you're not in prison or nothing. Like, fuck, I can't shake it. It has to be cold. I won't eat it hot. Even when I go out to eat somewhere, I'll let that shit sit for 30 minutes before I touch it.
Yeah.
Because it's just, I got used to that, you know? Unfortunately, it's not something that I plan to go back to, but it's just one of those habits that's hard to shake off.
I hear you, man. Ever since the military, since I've been out, I scarf down my food without even breathing, dude. Like in 5 seconds, I'll devour the whole plate.
That's another thing, bro. They're like, why do you eat so fast? Cause what if someone gets hit next to me and they fucking come in spraying? And that's all the food I had is what they give me on this tray. I got no food in myself.
Damn.
You're starving, bro.
Right.
You know?
Fuck, man.
And then, like I said, and I went through that before. And I had once with Potter, we boarded up on him because he came through and we were drinking and he wanted to take my wine. Yeah. And we saved our dinner so we can get more drunk. You know how it is. You save your dinner. You want to drink on an empty stomach.
Yeah.
Bam. He came in and he took all our stuff. He took my food, whatever little soups we had, he took. And fuck, that was a hard day, bro, because, you're hungry. And people don't realize that back then, you get small portions of food, bro.
Yeah.
But still expected to go out there and work out.
Damn.
And you get your soup once again. Let's say you give you 30 soups, bro. And there's 10 cells and they have, 2 each in there. So you're just not going to send 2 soups. You try to send 4 to every cell.
Right.
So you can have 2 and 2.
We used to hook up the shower cleaners with extra trays for dinner and stuff like that.
That was one thing they used to, because I was a shower cleaner, bro. That was one thing they used to,
Yeah, yeah.
Look out, because...
Hook up, those fat-ass trays, man. Just hook them up. Pile it on there.
And I would tell people, like, man, bro, that, to me, those meals, bro, would be bomb. Because, like I said, we would have to go out there and expect to be worked out, Yep. And then the homie, too, if he knew, like, the whole tier, like, for example, Cinco de Mayo, if he knew the whole tier was going to get drunk, he didn't want nobody acting a fool. So he'll go out there and be like, all right, we're going to do 1,000 burpees. In that hot-ass sun, humid.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, we would do it, but by the time we got back, ain't nobody wanted to drink. Ain't nobody wanted to drink more. I'm like, shit, I'm tired as fuck. I just want to lay down,
Right.
And call it a day. But it was, people don't understand that those are the struggles that you have to deal with, those little mind struggles, bro.
Fuck, dude. Nah, damn, dude, you hit the nail on the head, man. You're speaking straight fucking facts this whole time.
And how can I say it, bro? If you are somebody who's in touch with your family now, you used to your phone calls, you're used to getting your letters or whatnot, and you go back there and you see the mailman pass, you see the CO passing out mail, you're like, fuck, is he going to stop by and he gives you a fucking paper from the CDC or something,
Yeah.
You're like, fuck this, bro. That I can honestly say that was one of the ever times, bro, that I ever felt really, like, lonely in there.
That's crazy, dude. But it makes sense.
That time, bro, like, felt lonely when you sit there and you wonder, like I said, you got no more distraction, no more TV, no more dope, no more, like you would on the yard where everything's a little bit more accessible. And it's just like, fuck, I'm stuck on these 4 walls, bro. That's what made me realize, like, made me grow up in a sense, bro, and change my character because I was like, fuck, I was a shitty person. I can't lie to myself no more.
Right.
I can't lie to myself. And that's why I said, like, I enjoy reading, bro. But it helped me mature too in the sense that I just wasn't reading fucking, Tom Quincy or, all those little Tom Clancy and all those little, books.
Yeah.
James Patterson, shit like that. I'm like, nah, bro. And then, I had to get other stuff to make me grow up, bro, as a person,
Hell yeah. No, I could hear it in the way you speak, man, and in your tone, dude. Like, hey, you're with it, dude.
Like I said, that expanded my vocabulary. I've always been smart, bro. This is one thing like I tell people. This is one thing people don't know. I had a partial scholarship to go to USC before I went to prison.
Fuck.
but I was so ignorant and so that I wanted that college, bro. I wanted that fucking CDC college, that School of Hard Knocks.
Right.
You know, to where I fucked that up. Reflecting on it, it's like I was given a gift that I wasn't ready for. But I had it, bro. I had it. So, but reading was always, you know, it taught me a lot. Like I said, it expanded my vocabulary, you know, and reading so much, you pick up on things, certain things. You know what I mean? Someone's writing it for a reason.
Definitely.
Whether,
It's history.
you know,
It's history.
Your mannerism or anything, you know.
Right.
And then, you know, you obviously get those other books too, the 48 Laws, you know, all those books, The Art of War, all those, you know.
No, I
But
hear.
it's to use, you know, to manipulate and to abuse and to get what you want.
Correct. Yeah, I've read all those books too, dude.
You know,
Yeah.
I was like, you know, like I tell people, man, the best one is Don Quixote. If you ever read that book, that's one of the best ones to ever persuade.
Which one?
Don Quixote.
Okay.
You know, because it's the way it talks. You know, Reign of Gold by Victor Villaseñor. That was a book that helped me really understand the struggle that my family went through to get over here from Mexico.
Yeah.
To work in that environment, in the fields and all that. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Stuff like that, bro. But people don't realize that these little kids, they don't want to go through that nowadays, bro. They think that they're going to make it to whatever it is they're shooting for just by being there and by being who they are. Shit don't work that way, like I said. You know, from one ethic, whether it was there, was in Calipet, was in, you know, the shoot, you see the same people.
Right.
It's always the same faces that are putting in the work. Whether it be black, white, northerner, whatever. It's always the same people.
So you guys saw that on you guys saw that on your end as well. It's always the same people, same faces when it's cracking off.
Same ones, you know.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's down to do so. Everybody's like, oh yeah, but if push comes to shove, bro, it'll be like, you know, everybody goes really quiet. And you get that I gotta visit, you know, my mom's sick, and you know, man, I'm getting my package, you know. Like there's always some excuse, bro, and it's like, hey, either you with it or you're not, bro. That's how I was told, you know, and that's why to me it was like, that's why I said I was not thankful, but I was glad I got it out the way from the get-go.
Right.
Because I knew what to expect from the home. I knew what to expect, so it didn't scare me. The second time I went, it was like whatever. Like went back, kicked up my feet.
Damn.
And chilled, bro. Just chilled. Like I said, you know, I've always been someone that enjoys reading, so I've always got magazines for that reason. Just for that reason alone, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I would always get subscriptions to magazines, the newspaper, no matter what. Because I knew that one day, sooner or later, I was going to go back to the home.
Right.
And I got that, boom, that's covered. You know?
Cool.
My family knew. If we don't hear from you in a month, you're in the hole. We're going to send you writing material and, you know, a little money order to get your canteen.
Nah, that's cool. That's cool that they already knew the program, you know, that you had put them up on game like that.
But, you know, like anything else, bro, it becomes easy. To me, it was like nothing, like fucking TV, you know?
Right.
When we saw the strike and they took away my mattress and all that shit, I was like, cool, I don't care. I'll sleep on the cement bunk. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, they would try to give me my mattress back. Like, nah, I don't want it. Keep that shit.
Right.
You know, that's why I would say it made me stronger in a sense, because those little things, you know, they will break a normal person. Even now, sometimes my wife be like, why are you sleeping on the floor? Like, because I like it. So you sleep on the floor with the pillow and the blanket. Like, yeah, so what? You have a bed. Like,
Real quick question, man. Before we wrap it up, real quick, what was it considered if somebody goes man down? Like, was it viewed weak or like? I'm talking about like, you know, like kind of trying to manipulate the system, going man down. What was like the thought process behind that?
Oh, that's weak, bro. That was to me that would be considered weak. You know, even those people. Remember when they're doing that around that time they started doing those out-of-state transfers.
Yeah.
Sending people to Arizona and all that shit.
Right.
To me, the way I looked at it in that point was like, if you're allowing yourself to get sent somewhere else, especially out of state, that to me is a way like you trying to run from something.
Okay.
You trying to get away from the chaos that's happening here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're going with a bunch of other people that don't know really what time it is, and you guys are all just going willingly.
The reason I brought up that question, man, is because when I got to Donovan, man, you would literally have like 12 man downs in one shift, like simultaneously. It's just like, oh no, you're not gonna give me a shower that I don't have coming, right? Like that they don't have coming. I'm going man down, and it was just man that messes up the program for everybody.
And that's where you go with that. That's what I was taught. That if you mess up the program for everybody, there's the consequences, bro. You're not bigger than the program here, fool. If you
Damn.
didn't get your shower, suck it up. Bird bath. If you didn't get this, tough luck, homie. Tough it out. There's ways of going about it, but that's not your first resort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't resort to that off the back. Like, no. So once again, people that do that, first of all, you don't want the cops because that's going to bring everybody there. On some privileged shit.
Right.
Now you're on the map because now they're going to come and fuck with you. You know how it is, bro.
Yeah, man.
You fucked my time up. You fucked up my little lunch break. Fuck, I got my burrito, whatever. You fucked it. All right, if you don't trip, I'm going to make your life hell too.
Right.
And at the end of the day, you guys win. But at the end of the day, you're fucking up whatever it is we got going on.
True, man. But
you're throwing a wrench into whatever plans it was.
Yeah. Hey. Well, hey, dude, it was a pleasure chopping it up with you, man. It always is, dude. These conversations are fire, man. It's like a trip down memory lane.
No, bro. Thank you for having me. And hopefully, like I said, I give those little kids that are thinking that that they're hard, and that they can deal with something like that, bro. It's not. I lost my dad when I was in the hole. Like I said.
Sorry to hear that, man.
That was one of the most. That's my only regret. Everything that's my only regret, homie. That I wasn't able to say bye to him. But you know what? Those are consequences of the game. Those are consequences. You choose it and whatever you choose. And you got to, bite the bullet, homie. As you say, dog, whichever way the cookie crumbles, you can't bitch and moan and cry about it. But there's lots to it than just chilling with the homies and going out, bro. There's a lot of things that you got to be willing to give up.
Yeah, yeah, you're a good man now, dude, a good father, right? So everything I think comes full circle, and wherever your father is above, looking down at you, he's proud, dude, for sure.
Oh no, yeah, I know that. I'd be pleased with that, bro. But
for sure,
people don't realize that, bro. That you're not always gonna be on the main. Like I told you,
yeah.
Fucking Lean-ass Pollard didn't want to give me my call when that happened because he said I was trying to call for something else. I was like, dude, you see the letters on me, People don't realize that's. Guards are there to do their job, but sometimes they take it a little extreme at times. Not everybody, not you, know what I mean? But you got those other ones like piece of shit Pollard.
Yeah.
So where he wants to make you feel it. He wants to make you suffer.
So there it is. So you have an individual who lost his father while he was incarcerated, and Pollard at the time did not allow him to get a phone call. I can verify that because when my sister-in-law passed away from COVID and I let him know, what his response was, bring me verification.
Come on, bro. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's a little too extreme. That's why, like I said, I'm always trying to bash him as much as I can because I got no respect for someone like that.
Yeah, man, for sure. So anytime, man, tap in with me, dude. So... Hey, we'll run it again, man, but stay in touch, dude. Much appreciated. Thank you for coming on the show.
Likewise, bro. Thank you for having me. You guys have a good one. Subscribe if you guys ain't already have. Give them a homie a like, thumbs up.
Cool. Stay on the line real quick. I'm going to close it out, my boy.
All right, my boy.
Cool. All right, there you guys have it. Episode number 2 of this dude, man. Banger after banger. Keep pushing forward.